Hello, I'm Ollie and this is CriminOlly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, the Read What You Own challenge is back for year 5. If you don't know what the Read What You Own challenge is, it's a challenge a few of us do every year where we try and focus on reading from our own libraries rather than being distracted by the attractions of new books. It's really easy, isn't it, to get swept up in the excitement around new releases, or maybe just books that you've heard about that you hadn't heard about before, and end up buying them, and then they sit on your shelves and you never actually get around to reading them. I am definitely a terrible magpie when it comes to books. I'm someone who buys books because I think I might read them one day rather than because I need something to read. And as a result of that, I have literally thousands of unread books. So I find this a really useful challenge to do every year, to just pause on the book buying, focus on my own library and enjoy it like shopping my own shelves. I really enjoy the process, and I've discovered some great reads doing it every year that I wouldn't necessarily have got to otherwise. So as always, I'm joined by my 3 co-hosts, Greg from the channel Another Bibliophile Reads, MJ from Reading This Life, and Crystal from Fibre Artsy. So we will all be doing this challenge, which starts on the 5th of November as it does every year. There's loads of different ways you can do this challenge, and it's completely up to you how you do it. And indeed, if you don't want to do it at all, that's also obviously completely fine. So the way I do it, the way I've always done it, is that I set myself the goal of reading 100 books that I already own before I buy any new books. Now, you can set yourself caveats, you can set yourself, criteria, conditions that allow some books to come in. So the ones I'm going to be setting myself this year, which are similar to the ones I've had in the past, are I will still accept books in for review, but I'm really limiting that. I've got a huge number of books for review that I still need to read. So I'm kind of officially closed for new review copies, but if something really takes my fancy, then I may accept it in. And I'm also still accepting books as gifts because it feels churlish not to. And I will also allow myself to buy books to take part in the group reads I run as part of my channel. So I run a group read every month for my patrons and channel members. So I'll allow myself to buy the books for those as well. But if I can, I will get the book from the library rather than buying it. So those are the only kind of get-outs I'm going to give myself this year. And as usual, I'm going to set myself the goal of reading 100 books. Last year, I did the 100 books and then immediately did another 100 books. And that was too much. That was definitely too much. So I take my hat off to Michael K. Vaughan, who a few years ago started doing a 500 book challenge. And he recently put up a video saying that he has got to the 300 books point. So he's well over halfway. So it is a really fantastic achievement. So let's talk about the different ways you could do this challenge. So as I've said, I focus on reading a number of books, but you can do it in whatever way works for you. We do have some tiers set up, and those are focused around either reading a certain number of books or a certain number of pages. So let me talk through those, and then I'll talk about other ways you might choose to do the challenge. So the top tier is definitely not the 500 book tier that Michael's doing, the kind of God tier. Our top tier is the platinum tier, which is what I'm doing, which is 100 books, or if you prefer, you could choose to read 25,000 pages rather than 100 books. One down from that, we've got the gold tier, so 75 books or 18,750 pages. I'll put all of these in the description to the video. Silver tier is 50 books or 12,500 pages. Bronze tier is 25 books or 6,250 pages. And then below that, we've got a tier we haven't really named, but maybe let's call it the tin tier, which is 10 books or what would that be? 2,500 pages. So you can choose to do it that way, either a number of books or a number of pages, or you could choose to set yourself just a time period. So you could say, I don't want to buy any more books until the end of the year, or for 2 months or 6 months, whatever works for you. You could even set yourself a combined target. So you could say you're not going to buy any new books until you've read 50 books from your collection, or 12,500 pages, or 3 months have passed. It's completely up to you. Or you might know how many unread books you've got, and you might say you want to read 50% of your unread books, or get it down to just having 10 books left or something like that. Whatever works for you is the right way to do this. But as I've said, for me, I find it a really, really interesting and rewarding experience, and I always enjoy finding the hidden gems that I bought years ago and have completely forgotten about. So it's definitely worth paying a bit of attention to the books in our libraries, not ignoring them as we tend to, not constantly getting distracted by new things that are out there. So, as I've said, you can set yourself, like get outs as well, you can set yourself conditions that allow you to receive books. So in the past, some people have known like they've got a holiday coming up and they've said they'll allow themselves to buy books on that holiday, or they may be going to, you may say that you want to be able to buy books because you are going to like book signings and things like that, or to buy books to support people who you know who've written the books either through BookTube or outside of BookTube. So whatever conditions you want to set yourself to help you get through the challenge are absolutely fine. But the real thing is just to focus on reading the books you already have. So hopefully you will take part in this. Do let me know in the comments if you're interested. Let me know if you've done it before and how you found it, and let me know if you're going to do it again this year. As I say, for me, 100 books, and I'm going to hope to finish that in the first quarter of next year, let's say. So by the end of March next year, I can normally get through the 100 books in that amount of time space. And I'll be honest, I am somewhat selective in the books that I read. I don't only choose to read shorter books, but I tend to read a higher number of shorter books during the Read What You Own challenge. But yeah, as I say, it's something I've always really enjoyed, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too if you take part. Anyway, I will leave it there and say, as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.